corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes. And this is true in an American context. This is especially true in an African context, because any African you talk to, we're going to say our politicians are the problem.
I want to assure you people and assure the country, the economy is now on.
You know, we keep corrupt politicians. What they don't tell you is, let's say I go back to Nigeria right now, hypothetically, and let's assume I'm a good person. Let's assume I have good intent or whatever the case may be. And I say, okay, the way that I can have the most impact, the way that I can have the most like transformative impact on my community, on the nation at large, is to enter politics. What they don't tell you is, as soon as, let's say I'm successful and I get elected, and, you know, let's say I go home and my parents, my cousins, and everybody is celebrating me, the first thing they're going to ask me for is a piece of the pie. They're going to say, oh, now that you're in there, you don't want to take care of us like the other politicians have been taking care of their parents. Now you want to be a goody two-shoes? No, I got kids to feed. No, I raised you. I'm expecting a piece of the national cake, as we call it. So you have that pressure from within your own house. This is something your wife might be telling you. This is something your friends might be telling you. Your own mother might be telling you. Not only that, when you enter the chambers with your fellow politicians, they have every incentive in the world to either eliminate you or blackmail you, because your goodness makes them look bad, right? So we continue to investigate and demonize and persecute corruption without considering the root and considering the system that continues to regurgitate corruption. Because the reality is, from a Nigerian context, just speaking from that context, there is no incentive to be a non-corrupt politician. There is zero incentive to be a non-corrupt politician. You're going to get pressure from within your own house, from people who love you, who actually love you. And you're definitely going to get pressure from your opponents, and you're definitely going to get pressure from your colleagues. And we have these superhuman expectations, these martyr-like expectations of people that we consider leaders. That's why, like, when I learned in college that Martin Luther King literally said with his mouth, "I don't want to die." That was such a cathartic moment for me in particular, because our community has been regurgitating this narrative that you're not a leader or you're not worth following unless you are willing or ready to die, unless you are basically suicidal.
These are the students who are the future of Pakistan, and they are representing in the world Pakistan.
I love Pakistan. I will sacrifice my life for Pakistan. I love Pakistan.
Right. So I say all that to say, I think that part of the reason our dysfunction, whether we're talking about male-female relationship dysfunction, whether we're talking about community dysfunction, which is really what colors all our dysfunction, part of the reason it persists is because, to your point, I don't think people are willing to lift the proverbial rug, because I think that they're afraid they might not be equipped to clean it. So instead of that, we'll just buy a new rug and put it on top of it.
Going over the person's house and all the doors closed.
Right.
Don't look at that. Don't look at that.
Don't look over there.
And me and my sister growing up, I said was, you know, it ain't got to be clean. It just got to look clean.
That's right. That's black folks.
That's black folk, right?
That's African folks. Yep.
I mean, down to how we even present, you know, via fashion and our aesthetic and everything.
Come on now.
You going back to the hood.
You ain't got to look like what you've been through.
You ain't got to look like, right? So, yeah, man, that's definitely a thing. How do we begin to put at least a infancy level framework around something beyond the very infancy of ideation, right? Because truth be told, I do think that is for the leaders, you know, right? So to shoot some bail, I mean, people do have they have weight, and I don't ever want to like diminish the day-to-day weight that people have going on, struggle with their bills, their personal lives, their jobs, their, you know, the things that they have going on with their family. And so then the weight of, you know, figuring out, you know, community problems, let alone like they have their own micro, you know, situations to deal with. It's understandable why people want sedation, want a reprieve from the heavy nature, thinking of solutions, you know, to something, right? And so I do find though that people are receptive when something can be, you know, clearly and concisely articulated, even when it's maybe contrary to the norm. It can pique people's interest. Like, I do think deep down that, you know, most people generally kind of want some of the same things.
Hey, if you've made it all the way to the end, please click that like and subscribe button. Also share this with somebody that you think would gain value from it. Click the thumbnail at the top if you want the full video. Click the thumbnail at the bottom if you want a video that's closely related to this. Again, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. Check out some more of our content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.